is up, my dudes? We are back at it again with another video. In this video today, we're going to be working on something different, something I've never touched before. This is my girlfriend's 2015 Jeep Wrangler Sahara Unlimited Sport Altitude Edition.
In Challenger Cobra 392.
Yeah, so this is what we're going to be working on. It's got the 3.6 liter V6. It's a very comfortable ride. I like driving it. The sound system is amazing in this thing. I think it has a Alpine system, and it's got a subwoofer literally in the trunk area. It's pretty fire. It sounds pretty fucking good. But she is wanting a little more sound out of this thing, and I don't want to do anything to the exhaust. I don't want it to be loud and obnoxious. I want it to be quiet while she drives, you know, but can sound better, you know, when she wants it to, when she's, you know, getting on the car and under like light load and stuff. So we are actually going to be making an intake for this vehicle. One thing that I'm contemplating is, with most aftermarket intakes that I see on specifically for this Jeep, there is a like heat shield like this that blocks the heat from the engine, and it seals it to the hood so that it will keep heat away from the filter, and then the filter, you know, sucks in air wherever air can get to it from in front of the vehicle. That is one thing that I don't know what exactly I'm gonna do over here, but I'm gonna try to get that working like that and see how it goes. Honestly, I have some aluminum plate over there still that I can make a heat shield with, so that's my contemplation at the moment. I'm not really sure. That'll probably be the first thing that I have to do, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and make a full 3-inch intake for this thing, get some noise out of it. I'm also going to try to make tabs like this to get this to like attach a little bit more sturdy to the front here. And then I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this hose here, because I don't know how to make these, honestly, but we will see. We will figure it out. We should be able to make it happen. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on this. I am going to take it out and get some video of how it sounds stock, and then we'll compare that to how it sounds after the intake. Now, like I said, I'm making this from scratch. I've got some material left from other cars that I've worked on, so this is all of the 3-inch material that I have that we can use to make an intake. I'm gonna try to just use this stuff so it looks as clean as possible, but if I need anything, I have all of this left as well. So hopefully it looks nice, and then if it does look good and she wants to, we can get it powder coated, or I can just paint it a color that she would like to get it painted, whichever she prefers. So we'll see. But I'm excited. I hope it sounds as good as I think it's gonna sound. We did get a filter for it. It is blue, so I'm not sure what color the intake might be, but this thing is 10 inches in length. And it's got a 2.5, 3, and a 3.5 inch adapter on the inside, so we're gonna use a 3-inch. Should work pretty well. And for fitment wise, once this piece is out, it'll fit like this. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm really excited, so let's go get some video of how it sounds, and then we'll see what it's like after we finish it. So there's not very much sound from inside the vehicle in this car. It's fairly quiet. It's comfortable as shit. It drives like a truck, obviously, because of the big tires, but it's very nice. I like driving it. I don't like the fuel economy. It's getting 19.2 at the moment, but it's not horrible. I guess it could be better, but being a truck with a 3.6, it's not too bad. So you can hear, like, there's really no intake noise at all. It's gonna sound miles better once I make this intake for this thing. It sounds all right, but like it's gonna the stock intake is rubber plastic, and it also has built-in resonators to try and dumb down, quiet down the sound. So yeah. Hopefully cut that sound. It spun. I didn't think it was gonna spin, but it spun. We'll do a quick pull with the intake. I mean, with the windows down. All I hear is wind noise, so I don't think that worked. Alrighty, we are back in the shop, and we're gonna go ahead and start getting this thing disassembled. And I'm gonna pull all of this intake out and show you what it consists of, and show you why it's so quiet and how we'll be getting it to sound a lot better. And then we can go ahead and devise a plan for maybe getting a heat shield set up, so that we can you know, take advantage of a cooler area rather than the hot air from the engine bay. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing disassembled, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so we have the stock intake out. Not sure really what I'm gonna do about making like a heat shield or whatever, but that's yet to be determined. So this is the stock intake. This goes to the throttle body. These are basically resonators. This is what dampens the sound of the intake so that it doesn't get reverberated into the vehicle and you don't really hear it to keep the car quiet. But this is what we're basically deleting, what we're going to delete, kind of, sort of, and to get this thing to really open up, kind of sound a little bit more. It's not really, this is not a power gain thing. We're not trying to gain more power. Just wanted to sound a little better so that she can, you know, she just wants it to sound a little better. And with the heat shield, I'm just trying to keep it from sucking in hot air to make it worse, basically. So that's what we're going to be making. We're basically going to be making this elbow here, from the throttle body over. I'm going to try to make these tabs, or keep these tabs somehow, so that we can keep the like hose clip-in area. So I'm going to try to remake those with aluminum, and then I also have to cut and drill a spot for the intake air temp sensor, and then also make a nipple or whatever on the intake itself for the crankcase ventilation. That's what this is. I think it goes, one of them goes to the actual intake manifold, and the other goes to the intake. So yeah, no, it would be beneficial to not have these, but for emissions purposes and all that other jazz, we're going to keep that. And we're going to have all that run into the intake manifold like stock. So this is what we have to make. Now, how do we go about that? I think it's going to be pretty simple with, you know, what bends we got to make here. But making the enclosed heat shield kind of, sort of, is going to be the only fit that I really see that may be not even a problem, just a little bit of a challenge. So we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna get some measurements with some cardboard, get things kind of like eyeballed up, fitted up, and then honestly see where we go from there. So let's get cracking. Okay, this is a stencil that I made from cardboard. This is kind of what it looked like. It'll be shorter overall by 2 inches. I'm gonna try that first and see if it touches the hood. And then this front piece will not be all blocked off like that. I'm probably gonna angle it just so it blocks the radiator heat and then opens in the face so that it is good, basically. But it's gonna be like this. And then on this back piece, there will be a hole cut, and I will weld a coupler piece on there that the filter can slide onto. And on the back side, there will be another one on that side that the intake can meet up to. So I'm doing this part first so that I can get this in place, and then the easy part is going from the throttle body to the box with the filter. So I got this basically how I want it to. I'm gonna try to find a plug, like a nipple or something, or even just a flat piece to let this rest on or clip into, and then I'm gonna make a bracket to go from here to here or from here to here, just to try and keep it stable so it doesn't vibrate and stuff and hold it in place. It should work pretty well. I got dimensions in here. I'm ready to cut. Yeah, so hopefully this works out. I'm gonna go ahead and get these things cut and see what it looks like when they are all cut out and fit up. All right, so I made some changes to the one piece to just block the radiator, kind of, sort of, and then I got that traced kind of how I wanted it, and I actually got all our pieces cut. They just fit perfectly behind here, so that is perfect. All of our template pieces are cut. This is the rear side. This is the driver's side, and then this is the front side. No, the bottom, I'm sorry. And then this is the front side. So we got them cut. I am gonna like polish them a little bit before I weld them, just so they look a little nicer, so I don't have to try and polish it while it's in, like, as a box or whatever. And then the driver, which is this one, will have the hole in it, and then the piece welded to it, the coupler piece. And then, yeah, so that's how that's gonna work. I still have to make the tabs to mount it in place, but I don't think that's gonna be very difficult. Once I have it kind of figured out, then I can start building a tab piece and go from there. So I'm gonna catch up tomorrow because I'm gonna go home because I got work tomorrow. I'm gonna catch up tomorrow and try and knock this thing out. Maybe we'll get finished tomorrow, maybe not. Let's see. Okay, we're back. I have the rear plate, which will be towards the driver's side, mounted where I want the hole drilled. So I'm going to drill a pilot, drill out a big hole, and then open it up to 3 inches, and then the 3-inch pipe, well, probably going to center the pipe, weld it on, and then drill, and then, you know, clear that up, open to 3 inches. That way we can have a nice clean tunnel through there. And I'm gonna do that real quick, show you guys what I'm talking about with the pipe on one side and the other, and we can move along from there. So I'm gonna do this real quick. I got everything else basically cut up, and I'm going to clean all the pieces so it's fresh aluminum, none of this scale or whatever the hell this is, so it looks clean, welds well. So I'm gonna do that real quick, and yeah. Okay, so I got everything cleaned. I got it all cleaned with acetone. This is basically what I was saying. Got the hole drilled. It's not 3 inches. I think it's two or 2.5. 2 probably. And what I'm going to do is tack this in place here. This will be what the filter then couples to. And then once this is tacked in place, centered, I can Dremel out the inside, and then I'll weld this one on the back side for the pipe coming from the throttle body to connect to. So these two pieces will then be part of the box. There'll be a coupler onto the rear, which will help with flex, and then there'll be a coupler on the throttle body just to help with flex as well. So this is how I decided I was going to do it. So let's see what happens. I'm going to tack this in place, Dremel that out, and then see what it looks like. I'm also probably going to just end up tacking the whole box together and then finish welding it after it is all tacked together, and get moving on this thing. Once that's together, then we can do like tabs for the box so it can sit in place, and then I can see if I made it taller or short enough to fit underneath the hood, and then I'll just have to find some seal at the top to seal it for the engine bay. Okay, so I got that welded on there. Came out pretty good. I got it basically port matched. I did forget though, I can't use the smaller piece that looks like this because I also have to make like an inlet for, or outlet or whatever, for this hose to go to. So I'm gonna have to go and find some aluminum tubing that can attach to this, and then I'm gonna have this end on the back side longer, and then I'm gonna have that little inlet go to that piece that's sticking out from here, so that we can have this piece that comes from the crankcase ventilation going to the intake. So I am going to start tacking the actual box together, and once it's all tacked together I can finish welding it. Welding this piece on, this did warp a little, but I tried to straighten it as best as possible. We'll see the fitment. Once it's tacked in place, I'll be able to kind of give it a few smacks and get it in, you know, better position. But that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and tack this box in place and see how it looks when we're almost done. So I have these, don't mind the soot marks. I had the magnet there to position it on both sides, and it was causing it to do some weird stuff. So anyways, I got everything tacked on this piece portion. I just have to get this piece tacked in right here, but I am going to actually weld the inside of this before I tack this piece on, because not that it'll get too much in the way, but I don't want it to really get in the way. So I'm just going to take care of this stuff, weld the inside, weld the outside, and then I'll be able to put this final piece in like that to shield the radiator, basically heat. So look like that, and the filter will be sticking out there. And then I think I have to make one piece here so it will rest on that rubber grommet, and then I can make some mounting bracket pieces for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing welded all the way through, and then we will catch back up when we're basically mounting it. Yeah. All right, so back the next day. Yesterday I actually got this all welded up here on the inside, and then on the outside everything is welded. It came out pretty good. Yeah, I can't complain for just cutting this how it is, you know. I mean, not being like having all the like proper tools to cut it and all that bullshit. It came out really good. So this is our box. I do have to make one piece here, because this piece up at this angle will sit right here on this grommet, and then I can make brackets probably to here and maybe to here as well to just hold it in place. And then the intake itself, I'm going to try to make the brackets to bolt it up here, so that the intake can sit across here like that, and it'll hold the back side of the box up as well. I just came from Ace Hardware, and I picked up some of this 3/4 inch aluminum tube here. So this should be able to, I'm gonna have to make like pie cuts to make the 90, but this will come from this tube here, 90 into the back side of this, which there will be another piece of pipe sticking out, and it'll 90 into that. so that we can have all the factory stuff hooked up to it, just like it would be stock. So, real quick, I'm gonna get these two pieces cut out, get the pipe welded on the back here, get this piece cut out and welded on the front here, and then we can try and set it in place and see where our mounting brackets are going to be. I'm also not sure if I'm going to cut this at an angle or not. I'm going to figure that out right now, and then we'll catch back up whenever I got something going on here. All right. So I got that piece welded on, and like I said, that's going to sit on that bushing there. So right now I just have to make up some brackets. I'm going to go to that screw hole there, and then maybe make one for that 10 millimeter there. There's not really anywhere else I can make a bracket for. And I may weld like a block to the bottom of this so that it sits on that piece right there, just to, like, I don't know, set it up a little bit maybe. And put, like, I don't know, some double-sided sticky tape or something to keep it like insulated so it doesn't vibrate. Other than that, I really don't see any other bracket mounting spots. So yeah, that's what that looks like. I'm gonna get the brackets for this made up real quick, and then we can start going for the intake side of things and see how that goes together. Yeah, sweet. So we have brackets holding it in place. There's one here that holds this box that goes through there, and then there's one here for the steering power steering reservoir. I was gonna go down to this bracket, but this was a little difficult, so we're in there. It's not moving. It's not going anywhere, so we're good. I did try to close the hood, and I think it's touching, which is good, but also I might need to trim it down maybe ½ an inch or something and get a seal up there. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it, and we can move on to making the intake. So I did get 3/4 inch pipe. I'm going to make a 90 from here down into the pipe that's going to come off of here. And with that done, then really all we got to do is make this piece here. I am contemplating making it come up closer to here, because the brackets for this will hold this in place. I can make brackets and that kind of like keep this hose up here. So I'm thinking about making it come up like this, come up like this, go over, and then come down into the pipe. But also I'm kind of thinking about just coming across here and then just making long brackets to hold it up here. It might look a little funny, but I mean, who really cares? If it works, it works. So with this box done, sit in their place, it's not moving, we can move on to the intake. So let's do that. Whew. All right, so I got the pipe welded onto the back side of the box. I cut the 3/4 inch pipe, 22.5 degree, 22.5 degree, 22.5 degree, 22.5 degree. That's 45 here, 45 here, that's 90. That gets us our feed right here. I should have made this pipe a little bit longer because there's not very much space here, but we can still get a clamp on it and it will seal and it will not come off. So we're good there. I got 2 3-inch couplers, one there, one here. I'm gonna head home today, and then tomorrow come in, and all we gotta do is make this pipe to there, and then make some brackets here to hold this line up and maybe brace the intake, and then we can put the filter on and she'll look snazzy. Then we can go out and get some sound tests. I'm really excited to hear how this sounds, because it's super quiet in the vehicle. So I'm hoping this thing really like livens it up. As all she really wanted was more sound, just a little bit of like oomph, like it sounds mean. So that's all we're really going for here. So, but yeah, so I kept this so it acted as factory, didn't cut anything off of this. I could put a clamp on that. Everything should be Gucci. This was a pain in the ass to weld. These two were a pain in the ass to weld. This pipe, it's just, yeah, it's a pain in the ass, but we got it done. So I'm coming tomorrow. We'll finish that up, and then we'll go and get some sound tests. All right, we're back. It's the next day. We are going to get this thing buttoned up here. I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna have the pipe come over and up a little bit with the bend that's on it. Have it come up and across like this, so it's closer to the top here, so I can make some brackets to go like that from here to here. and then it's going to either turn down into it or something. I want it as straight as possible for the best flow, but I mean, I guess, you know, factory does it like that, so I assume this probably won't hurt it. But can't have it right here because of the alternator, so it's going to have to come up and then come down into right here into the box. So yeah, I'm gonna get started on that, see what I can figure out, and then go from there and get it all welded up. Okay, so this is kind of what I've got so far, my idea anyways. Might be hard to see, but this is a 45, and then this is also a 45 here with a 2-inch straight. It's gonna made up like this. I'm gonna try to get brackets up top here, but if you can see, this isn't like straight with this piece on that lip, so I'm gonna have to take some of this angle off here to try and get it a little bit more straight, so that when these go together like that and this is straight, these fit up straight and stuff like that. So I'm gonna get these all tacked in place, and then I'm going to try and take some off of this. Instead of it being so much of an angle this way, I'm gonna bring it in some. Hopefully I can get it down to an angle where this and this mate together, and then with this piece straight up here, this piece will be flat, basically flat against that. Not exactly flat against it, but back some, but be at the same plane with that, and I'd be happy with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these tacked up and see what I can do about getting some off of this end here. All right, cool. So I got these pieces welded up. I'm really happy with how my welds are coming out. These look, I mean, prep is key, so I did prep better on these, but this is coming out really nice. And just finished up this one. It's still very hot, but these look really nice. I'm really happy with how they're coming out. So I made a lot of progress in the past, I don't know, year or so that I've been welding, TIG welding, so I'm happy with that. Okay, now I just have to take a little bit of the angle off of this one and do some test fitting and see if it fits up again, and if it does, we're Gucci. Wait for that to cool off, test fit again, and see what's up. So I'm gonna do some of that real quick, and yeah, catch back up. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. We've got the coupler here. It did go on, it was sliding off, but once it's really tight, it won't come off. I'm thinking about adding some to this, but we'll see. So we have the basically 45, it's probably more like 38 now because I took a few degrees off. And then we have 45 here, comes up to this. This is almost directly in between the two mounting points and is straight across. I'm gonna make 2 brackets going from this to here. I'll probably make one here real quick to get this solid so it doesn't move. And then once that's done, I can work on getting the pies fitted for this side. Once that's done, this is just welded up, make another bracket here, and then see what we can do about this coolant hose to get this thing mounted and see what we can do here. I don't think it's going to be too difficult, but we'll see. I'm not really sure yet what to do about this, but yeah, we'll see. These welds came out pretty good. Everything is fitting up nicely. I'm pretty excited with this. Once we are finished with this pipe, we're probably gonna have to trim the box down a 1/2 inch. The way the hood slants down, it touches up front here before the hood can close. So I'll probably take off a little bit off the top here, slant it up towards this area, and then we'll see how that closes at the end. But I'm gonna continue working, try to get this pied up, show you in between what that looks like. If you guys can guess the hardest part about fabrication, you get a high five. Go. If you guessed fitment, you're fucking correct. This is just all a pain in the ass, man. It really is. But when it comes together, it works well. So what I did was I got 3 or 4 22.5 degree cuts, which makes this a so 11 1/4, 11 1/4, 22.5. This one's 22.5. That's 45. That's another 45 for those two. This is a 90 here. But what I did was I put one and then I turned the other one slightly, turn the other one slightly, turn the other one slightly, and we got it coming up and over into the rest of the intake. So as you can see here, I have a tiny little bit, about 1 inch or so that I need to fill this gap. So this is coming together so well. Like I'm really stoked on how this looks. Looking at it from there, it looks really nice. Why I did this was to avoid the alternator and then get some brackets in here so that we can mount this thing like that. So it is taped. I am going to mark it the best that I can and then tack it in place. I'll probably do that either tonight or tomorrow. And then once that's tacked, I can weld it, fit it up again, find out how far this distance is once it's set in place, and then get a tiny little piece to set down right inside there. But man, this is, it's a beauty watching it all unfold like that, but it is a pain in the ass. So I'm gonna take care of that, and then yeah. All right, so next day, I got this piece welded up really nice. Some of the inside, the penetration looks a little sharp, so I'm gonna have to clean some of that up a little bit. There was a little bit of a gap there. But on the outside, the welds look pretty good. They laid fairly flat, so I'm happy about that. It's gonna be on here like this, and there's gonna be like a small gap for me to fill in right there. And why I made this part so long is that so we can get this intake air temperature sensor mounted in there somewhere. And I don't really have anything to like hold it in place, so I got this this intake adapter kit from Spectra from Advanced Auto, and I'm probably going to try to use one of these first and drill it out a little bit bigger to fit around there. And if that one doesn't work, this one right here works fairly, not that one, this one, it's fairly tight. I may put a bigger O-ring on this right here to just try and get it a little bit tighter, and I'll drill this size diameter into the pipe to try and get this to work. Like this fits and it's fine, I just don't want it to fall out or something. So that's the only thing that I can't really figure out is how to keep it in. But if I can somehow put a bigger O-ring on it, the pressure of it from it will keep this in place, and won't have to worry about it coming out. So I'm gonna put this back up into the pipe, or into the coupler right here, find out what piece we need from here to here, like that. And then once this is done, then I can drill the hole, and then we'll be basically finished with the intake. I'll just have to get the brackets mounted for the pipe itself, and then we'll be pretty much Gucci. So I'm gonna get that mounted again and see what we have to fill in between the two spaces. All right, got that piece in there. I measured it, it was like 3/4 of an inch, or 7/8 of an inch, and when I cut it, one side was 7/8, the other side was like 3/4. It was a little odd, but I did get it to fit in here. It is basically straight. When I'm gonna put the marks on it so I know where to attach it to, tack it in place and weld it up. And then this thing should fit in there fairly well. Once that's done and that's welded, I can then make the brackets. And then honestly, we're ready and we're golden to turn this thing on and hear it. But once that's done, I'm gonna put the intake air temperature sensor. The wiring is right here, somewhere in here, or maybe on this side of it. I haven't figured that out yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and mark this, weld it up, and then we'll put it right back in place. All right, the intake is welded. It is on, and now we determine where we're gonna put this intake air temperature sensor. I could probably put it like right here. I could probably put it underneath. I kind of want to put it like somewhere straight up so vibrations don't like shake it down and gravity pulls on it and it goes loose that way. I could put it also up here, but I don't know. Where am I going to put it? Probably right there? Yeah, probably right there. Could probably put it over here. I'll probably put it on this side, right here on the inside. Go ahead and make a mark real quick, try to center it up. That looks good. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get that cut out, get the grommet in, and see what it looks like with the intake air temp sensor in it, and then we can clamp it We could hear it right now, but I want to finish making those things. So real quick, I'm going to see how that looks and see what we can do about these brackets that I was wanting to make. Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves an intake. Everything is tight. Everything is hooked up. Oh, except this. Okay, that's plugged in now. Everything is hooked up. Everything is tight. I used a clamp from a Honda on this because it worked. These are the bracket system that I came up with. We're using the factory grommet from the stock intake on this Jeep. I just was like, you know, let me not make something. Let me just use whatever's there. This rubber grommet will insulate it and keep it from vibrations too. So I didn't make like a clip-in type thing for this coolant line. It's just for the overflow, but it is like pinched, sandwiched between here whenever you tighten it, and it is not going to go anywhere. So it is held in place, and I'm happy with it. They are welded on, and everything is solid. This thing, I could probably stand on it, but I won't. Is locked in, ready to go. The hood was touching here. If you can see this, I did slant it down a little bit. I took off probably about 1/4 of an inch up here, and it fits fine. I'll insert a clip of when I put my phone under the hood. So the only thing we need here, honestly, is a seal, which we will get down the road or another day. I don't have that seal yet, but it is literally just about touching here. It touches up here very slightly, and there's just like 1/4 of an inch gap back here. But everything seems so perfect. It fits so well. Everything came together really well. I'm excited. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and it is now time to start it. I am going to start it for you guys. Hear what it sounds like. First start, cold start, and yeah, let's see what happens. All right, boys, let's hear what she sounds like. First start. I don't really hear anything different, but I'm gonna wait for it to warm up, and I'm gonna get some nice revs for you guys and hear how it sounds before we take it out on the road. All right, we've got no check engine lights, so that's golden. The car is warmed up. Gonna get a few revs just to hear the intake and see what she sounds like. I think it sounds good. It doesn't sound as throaty as I thought it was going to, but I'm also in the car. So I'm going to play that back and listen to it. But tomorrow we're going to get some outside videos and see what she sounds like. Alright, my dudes, it is the next day. It is time to test this thing, see what she sounds like. Do have some bad news, though. Last night I was in a car accident, and the 4-door is totaled. I was going down the road and I hit a Jeep like this. They pulled out in front of me and I hit the Jeep right there. So my 4-door, my red 4-door is no more. That thing's gone. It's totaled. Trying to see what happens with that. Trying to find another car at the same time. So yeah, that sucks. I'm sore, whatever. Let's get back to this thing. Let's go test this thing, see what she sounds like, and give an overall view of this intake. Well guys, it is about to rain, so I'm not gonna be able to get too many videos. I'm not gonna be able to get any video outside of the car today, but we can get a little video of inside the vehicle. Tomorrow I'll get some outside clips to compare to, but under light throttle, this thing is fairly quiet. You don't really hear anything, so very light throttle, you can hear it a little bit, but it's not very loud, but it gives it some of that tone, right? And then whenever you get on it, it really just opens up. So I'm gonna get a little clip here real quick, and we can hear what it sounds like. Alrighty guys, let's get a little clip in here, hear what she sounds like. What the fuck? Bruh. Okay. Alright, she's gonna love this shit. Holy hell, bruh. Holy hell. It sounds so good. So fucking good. Holy shit. That's really what that's honestly all I was hoping for it to sound that good. I'm gonna roll down the passenger window and see if it sounds any bit louder with the window down, because the intake is on that side, so let's see. All right, let's go. Oh my gosh, it sounds so good. I can't wait to hear this thing from the outside, bro. Holy shit. Holy cow. Listen, buy an intake for your Jeep, or make one, because this thing sounds fantastic. Alrighty guys, let's get some outside sounds and let's hear this intake rip. Alright, hopefully that sounded good. Well, that thing sounds great. I'm really excited with how it came out. This thing sounds really, really good, and my girl's gonna be super excited when she hears it for the first time. She hasn't heard it yet in person. She heard it over the phone, but she's really excited to drive this thing. And it looks really, really nice. I loved being able to get these brackets in place to hold everything like stock, to have the evap hose or the crankcase hose run to the intake, you know, having the intake air temp sensor mounted, all that. It came out really well. My only thing that I can recommend if you guys are buying or getting an intake for this car is the intake is about the same size, the piping is about the same size as the throttle body. Maybe a tiny bit smaller. So if you really wanted more performance from an intake, going to a 3¼ or 3½ inch intake would probably be the best bet. But this is what we had, so this is what I went with. It doesn't hurt the car is not slower. It has really, really nice sound, and I'm really happy with how it came out. This thing, it looks great, sounds great, feels great, and yeah, I mean, what can I say, you know? But that is going to be it for this one, guys. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for staying tuned. Not sure what we're going to be doing next. Probably another video on this car once we have a transmission rebuild kit coming for that, so I can put that transmission together. Once that transmission is together, we can put the trans, mate it with the engine, put that in the car, and then all it is get whatever the car needs running. Get it together. The the pedal assembly, shift linkage, engine mounts, you know, harness. Everything that deals with the car. The engine will basically be together and ready, and then once all that stuff with the car is done, we can work on the fabrication for the intercooler pipe and the exhaust and stuff. So that's where we're at with that one. So stay tuned for that. Appreciate you guys for checking in, and I'll check you in the next one. Deuces. Floor it.